Mount Tabor students and parents, welcome to this Tabor Forum Series presentation, Testing 1, 2, 3, College and Career Readiness. I am Stan Huck. I am your Director of School Counseling. The Tabor Forum Series is sponsored by the Mount Tabor PTSA and the Student Services Department as we seek to inform our school community about opportunities that guide our students to graduation and build college and career plans for life after high school. Our Testing 1, 2, 3 forum is usually held in person in mid-December in the Mount Tabor Auditorium after students have received score reports for fall test administrations of the PSAT, NMSQT, and the PreACT. Normally, school counselors meet with juniors and sophomores at school to share information about these assessments. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused many changes, including the postponement of normal testing schedules and how we are able to share information with our students and our parents. As we begin December of 2020, we will use this video presentation to provide updates about the following tests that provide students with information about their college and career readiness. We will talk about the ACT and the SAT. We'll talk about the PreACT and the PSAT NMSQT. We'll talk about the ACT Workkeys assessment. We'll talk about the ASVAB, which is the Armed Services Vocational Test Aptitude Battery. And we'll talk about AP exams. We have included information in this presentation that we think will benefit students at each grade level. We will share information that we know at this time about plans to administer each test, the group of students who are expected to take each assessment, and how each test will be made available. Further details will be made available at the Mount Tabor website, through email, through voice messaging, and through other forms of social media as decisions are made by our school district, the college board, the ACT program. Our goal is for students and families to have information that will keep our students focused on their educational, college, and career goals during a time that is both complicated and constantly changing. We also want our families to know that your school counselors welcome your questions. Anytime, please contact us through email or simply call the school counseling office. An additional resources link with more details and primary information is set up at the Student Services section of the Mount Tabor website. Click on Tabor Forum Series and locate additional information about many of the slides that you will see in this presentation. Along with the Mount Tabor school counselors and our school counseling intern, who will talk with you in this presentation, we welcome Vicki Larita, our Instructional Facilitator, who will provide information about the first semester exam schedule, especially the North Carolina end of course exams. We also welcome Andy Muse, our Career Development Coordinator, who will discuss career technical education exams for first semester, and he will also talk about the ACT Workkeys assessment. Before we get started, please listen to some welcoming and encouraging words from Mr. Ed Weiss, our high school principal.
Thank you, Mr. Huck. Testing 1, 2, 3, College and Career Readiness is certainly a Tabor Forum Series activity come each December that we spend a lot of time on in trying to provide information to our students as they work through their high school years in understanding and developing a plan for themselves. Around Mount Tabor High School, we spend a lot of time defining and working toward a concept called Spartan Strong. We are a school family that works very hard for one another and with one another. We want to try to do all of that work and all of that effort with fidelity in a consistent and faithful way so that we can help our Spartans build a foundation so that one day they should be able to answer the question, yes, I am future ready. Tonight's program is designed to provide you a little bit of information about our school, about the offerings and decisions that our students need to make in the coming days. Something I want to bring your attention to is the Reentry Survey that was sent out just before Thanksgiving and then pushed out again this week. It's a very important survey that we want parents and family to let us know their intentions for January as far as whether they will be in person with us or whether they will continue to be remote for the second half of the school year. We will also have our teacher-made exam schedule the week of December 14th to 18th, as well as our exam schedule for EOCs and Vocats test come mid-January. Other information tonight will be about our CTE exams, the pre-ACT and practice SAT, the PSAT. Taking the SAT and ACT test, as Mount Tabor is a site for students to sign up for. The Workkeys Test for those students who are seniors and have taken a concentration of CTE courses during their high school years. The Ncaa Athletic Clearinghouse. The ASVAB test for students who are interested in the military. And then certainly information on the planning for college, that includes a lot of admissions information. So as our students work to develop their plans for themselves in their future high school years, we want to take the time tonight to make sure that you are vested and a part of what we're working hard to make sure that we put out there to our students and their families. We appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about testing 1, 2, 3, college and career readiness. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Larita. I'm the Instructional Facilitator here at Mount Tabor High School. After winter break in January, we will be administering end-of-course exams for all EOC classes, including Math 1, Math 3, English 2, and Biology. All of these tests are required to be given in person and on campus. Teachers will be notifying students and families of their specific test dates and will also be giving NC test tutorials in class before the break. All EOCs are to be taken on school or district devices, and transportation and meals will be provided for all in-person testing. Teacher-made exams will be administered remotely the week of December 14th through 18th.
Hello, Mount Tabor. This is Coach Muse. I'm your Career Development Coordinator in charge of CTE exams here at Mount Tabor. Just want to let you know that all CTE exams are required and they count 20% of your grade. We need you to be here if your class is taking it at school. Your teacher will let you know 3/4 of our exams will be taken at school. January 19th, first period will begin at 8:55 to 11:55 a.m. Second period on January 19th will begin at 12:45 and end at 3:40. On January 20th, our third period exam, CTE, will begin at 8:55 and end at 11:55. And fourth period exam will start at 12:45 and end at 3:40 on January 20th. We will have social distancing, so our classes will be divided into 12 or less people per room. And we hope to see you here on the 19th or 20th. Good luck on your exams.
All teacher-made midterms and final exams will be administered remotely the week of December 14th through 18th. Let's look a little more closely at the teacher-made exam schedule. On Monday, December 14th, all A-Day teacher-made midterms will be given. On Tuesday, December 15th, all B-Day teacher-made midterms will be given. On Wednesday, December 16th, all teacher-made final exams for Block English and Block Social Studies classes will be taken. And on Thursday, December 17th, all teacher-made final exams for Block Math and Block Science classes will be given. Lastly, on Friday, December 18th, all makeup exams for teacher-made finals and midterms will be taken. All non-EOC classes will use any time after the break to complete makeup work or for remediation. Now let's take a look at the final exam schedule for January. On Monday, January 11th and Tuesday, January 12th, we will have synchronous remote review days for all EOC and CTE classes. This means that students will log on from their computers and have live review sessions with their teachers. On these days, we will follow our regular virtual bell schedule. On Wednesday, January 13th, we will administer the Math 3 and Math 1 EOC exams in person here on campus. All other classes will be asynchronous on this day. On Thursday, January 14th, we will administer the English 2 EOC in person here on campus, and everything else will be asynchronous. And on Friday, January 15th, we will administer the Biology EOC in person on campus, and all other classes will be asynchronous. We will have a 3-day weekend. Monday, January 18th is MLK Day. And then on Tuesday, January 19th, we will have in-person testing for our first and second period CTE classes. And we will have makeup exams for anyone who missed EOC testing on the 13th, 14th, or 15th. And then on Wednesday, January 20th, we will hold our in-person CTE exams for third and fourth period and any makeup exams that are still left on that day for the EOC classes.
In the next part of our program, we will address the tests that are produced by the College Board and the ACT program primarily, tests that help our students understand the level of college and career readiness that they are developing as they move through high school. We will talk about the PreACT, the PSAT, NMSQT, the ACT, the SAT, and the ACT Workkeys. We'll also address some information about the ASVAB, which is the assessment that young people take when they are pursuing enlistment in the military. The PreACT is a multiple choice assessment taken by sophomores in high school, partially to prepare for taking the ACT in the junior year of high school. In a normal school year, our sophomores would have taken the PreACT sometime in early November, and they would be receiving their score reports in early December. Because our high school was not in session during November, the ACT program has extended the window of time for students to take the PreACT to May of 2021. Sometime in second semester, we will likely receive information from our school system indicating the date that our sophomores will take the PreACT. Our juniors took the PreACT last year and received a score report that indicated the level that they scored and how that level indicates their college and career readiness. When students take the PreACT, they take 4 multiple choice assessments: an English test, a mathematics test, a reading test, and a science test. Those are the same 4 tests that make up the primary parts of the ACT. So again, the most important aspect of the PreACT is taking a test in a similar setting to taking an ACT in the future. This slide indicates the college and career readiness indicators. So the test indicates that if a student scores at a particular level, they are on target to being college ready and better prepared for the ACT and better prepared for taking college courses in college. It shows whether they are on the cusp of that readiness indicator or if they are in need of significant work in order to be better prepared to be able to take college courses and be successful. We'd also like to point out with this slide that juniors who will take the ACT in February can use their PreACT score report as a tool to prepare. The ACT has an online learning tool called ACT Academy. Students may include their PreACT scores at the ACT Academy site and receive an individualized program for preparing for the ACT. We know that many of our students may not have their pre-ACT scores readily available to them, so juniors are welcome to contact their school counselor and receive that information. We can email it to students, or students are very welcome to stop by and pick up that assessment. So again, what's important currently about the pre-ACT is that our sophomores will take this assessment sometime in the second semester, but we currently don't know the date of that assessment. The PSAT is a practice test for taking the SAT. Juniors should take the PSAT if they are planning to apply to college and therefore likely to take the SAT in the future. Again, during a normal school year, our juniors would have taken the PSAT in October of this past year. As I talk about juniors, I also want to mention that our sophomores and our freshmen are always welcome to take the PSAT along with the juniors if they want to receive extra practice as they are preparing early in high school for a subsequent PSAT or for taking the SAT in the future. It's really a good practice for a freshman or a sophomore to become more intricately involved in the college planning process by taking the test early. The PSAT and the SAT also have benchmarks or readiness indicators similar to that of the ACT. So on this slide, we can see for our students in high school who take the PSAT in grade 11 or grade 10 or grade 9, the benchmarks indicating that they are progressing productively in their preparation for college. This slide also indicates the benchmarks for the SAT for our students. So the benchmark is associated with a 75% chance of earning at least a C in first semester credit-bearing college level courses. In our next slide, Mr. Boswell is going to talk more about how our students register to take the PSAT, which will be offered in January of 2021.
Hello, everyone. Just here to take a few minutes to talk to you guys about the PSAT. Just going to briefly go over, kind of the importance of taking the PSAT and, some things that you can do to prepare for the PSAT. Before I get into that, though, just want to remind everyone, if you look on our screen, you'll see that we are hosting the PSAT here at Mount Tabor. We will be hosting it on January 26th of 2021. For those who are aware and those that might not be aware, just wanted to let you guys know that we will be hosting it on January 26th in 2021. So kind of wanted to talk about, for those who might not be aware of what the PSAT is, it's a practice test for the SAT. So it's to, kind of get you prepared for the SAT, which most students take during their senior year. It also discovers you for college readiness. So it's just going to give you some of that, let you know kind of where you are as a high school student as you move towards high school. It's going to, kind of let you know where you stand and, what some things to expect as you transition to high school. So yeah, that's kind of some of the things that you can expect on the PSAT. Taking the PSAT is important because it connects you to College Board programs and services. The College Board is, a site that kind of, houses the SAT and the PSAT. By registering and signing up for the PSAT, it allows you to kind of find out some more additional services, additional programs that can help transition you and prepare you for college. By taking the PSAT, it also qualifies you for National Merit Scholarship Program. This is important because, if you're a type of student that are looking for a lot of scholarships, looking a lot for free money, free opportunity, academic scholarship, by registering for the PSAT, you are that makes you qualify and makes you eligible for some of those national merit scholarships. Whereas if you didn't register for the PSAT, you would not be eligible for some of those certain scholarships. So if you're looking for free money, free scholarships and academic scholarships and opportunities, the PSAT will be a great way for you to get nominated for some of those scholarships and programs. The PSAT also is a student search service that connects students to many programs. So, once again, using the College Board and registering, it connects you to some of those programs, a lot of services, and you'll receive a lot of information through the College Board, just for registering and applying to take the PSAT. The website has a lot of good information also that can help you, like I mentioned, as you transition to high school, to college. So, next I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about preparing for the PSAT. While preparing for the PSAT, there's several ways you can do that. We have paper copies here of the practice test at Mount Tabor. You can feel free to come up to the front of the school, and someone in the main office will, be able to assist you with picking up a paper copy. There are also a lot of online resources that students can find on their own and practice tests and things like that. That can be found, just by Googling, PSAT prep test or practice test or anything like that in the Google search to kind of help you find some third-party resources to help you prepare for the test, just to kind of help you understand what kind of material and content is going to be on the test. So that's also another good way. And another really good way, and this is information from the College Board website, Khan Academy. That's also a good testing resource you can use to kind of help prepare you and give you some kind of exposure to the PSAT before you encounter it. Like I said earlier, this test is typically geared towards those juniors who are going to be prepared to take the SAT their senior year. But we do have freshmen and we do have sophomore that also want to prepare to take the PSAT, so that can give them the leg up and give them the advantage to kind of find out about the format of the test, what kind of questions, the content, what to expect, and just give you that extra form of practice to help prepare you for the SAT when you launch into, as you prepare for your senior year to take the SAT and start applying for colleges. If you look in this right upper left corner, you'll see a note that says, if you've already taken the PSAT, you can check out and click that spot right there, and it should take you to some additional resources and information in regards to understanding your score report. This is going to be very important and key. Understanding what you scored and how you were scored is very key into understanding your scores, and it'll give you kind of insights of what universities are looking for when you're applying to colleges. What they're looking at, how your score is breaking down, where you scored, and if you even choose to take it again, it can even show you what areas of improvement you want to work on moving forward. So if you didn't do well in a certain section, then it'll let you know that another section is where you need to focus on to improve your score overall. Lastly, the PSAT is going to be $17 for all students, and if you're a junior, you will be eligible for a fee waiver. This fee waiver opportunity is only eligible for juniors, and those who are eligible for free and reduced lunch are the students that will be eligible for the fee waiver. So if you have any questions or concerns about that, you can ask your counselor or just notify someone in the guidance office, and we'll be able to help you with that. It's also important that I mention that the registration date, the last date to register for the PSAT coming up in January, is December 4th. If you look on the bottom of that page right there, it's a bit.ly link. You can click that link and it'll take you where you should be able to register for the course. Register for the exam. Like I said, I think that's about it. Everything else, you're more than welcome to come up to the school if you would like to receive a physical copy of a practice book test. Um, and any other information regarding the PSAT, we will share as time gets closer. So, just stay connected to your school counselor or the school website for additional upcoming testing details. So now I'm going to talk to you guys about the SAT. The SAT is a test that's mostly hosted through the College Board that students used to take when they're applying to colleges. Colleges are going to look at your SAT scores, certain, depending on what university you apply to, they have different scores that they look at to determine whether they want to accept students or not. SAT scores are not the only thing that colleges look at. It's a variety of factors such as your ACT score, your college application, your references, your resume, and your transcript and your grades, of course. So, but that's just one of the things that, one of the important things that colleges look at is your SAT score. So you definitely want to do your best and prepare for that. If you look on the screen here, I've already talked about in the previous slide some of the things that you can do to prepare for the SAT. So I'm not going to really cover that, but if you look on the screen, we have test dates available here for the SAT. So March 13th of 2021 is a date, March 8th is another day, and June 5th is another day. So there is also more to come in the fall of 2021. So stay tuned and just check in, on the website and check with the school for more additional dates if you're looking to take it in the fall. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, the scores, how does that work, and the fees. So the scores are available online 2 to 3 weeks after the test date, after you've taken your test, and it should be available on your College Board account. And you are allowed to send up to 4 schools your SAT scores that you want on file. So those should be schools that you're looking at applying to, that you're interested in attending. And before you register for the test, it should allow you the option to select 4 schools that you want to send your scores to. And an extra cost could be applied if you want to send to certain schools after you've taken the test. So if you forgot to send it to a certain school, or you wanted to send your test to a school that you didn't apply to initially, or that you didn't select initially, it could be an additional cost to send that score to additional schools. Most colleges and universities require scores to be sent directly from the College Board. So, even if you have a printout or an email or a PDF copy, or you can, screenshot or access your scores through your College Board account, most colleges and universities don't accept it that way. So you still have to have the College Board send it to your university directly for it to be official. Super Scoring is also available. Super Scoring is if you have taken the SAT more than once, and say you did well on the math portion the first time, and you didn't do so well on the reading portion the second time. Some schools will take your best score for, if you've taken it more than once, they'll take your best score and accept your best score from how many times you've taken it. So if you've taken it 3 times, they'll maybe take your score from each subject, the best score from each subject, even if you've taken it more than once. So that's a good option for students who, if you're having an off day, or a day where, you did better last time in a certain subject versus this time, a lot of schools are doing super scoring, so they'll accept your highest score out of no matter how many times you've taken the SAT. The test is $52 to take if you just want to take the test. If you want to take it with the essay portion, it's going to be $68. So next I'm going to talk to you more about fees. The fees, changing the test date or the test center is going to be additional fees. Late registration is going to be additional fees. If you're waitlisted or a standby registration, there's going to be additional fees. And students are eligible for fee waivers if they qualify. Students who qualify for fee waiver must be eligible for free and reduced lunch. So if you have any questions or concerns about that, or you feel like you might be eligible for a fee waiver, please contact your school counselor to check in that specifically to get more details about that. And if you look in this right bottom corner, you'll also see that the College Board does accept students with disabilities or accommodations. So if you have an IEP or a 504, your school counselor would have to submit that information or request to the College Board, and that would be determined by them if they would honor or go by that IEP or 504. But in order to get the ball rolling on that, you definitely would need to reach out to your school counselor to submit that on your behalf. Okay, so this is just a brief chart that I want to show you guys, just to kind of show you how the SAT is scored. If you look at your left, you'll see what subjects, that first group of boxes is the subject that you can expect to be on the SAT. So there's an evidence-based reading and writing section. There's a math section. And if you pay for the additional portion of the test, which is going to cost you more, there's an essay portion. And then if you look at the bottom, that composite is going to be your score. That's going to let you know what you scored on each section. If you look on that next box, that's the range. So that's going to just let you know what your highest score could possibly be and your lowest score could possibly be. So for the reading and writing and math section, you have a possibility to score a 200 to 800 range score. And for the essay, it's going to be 2 to 8. And your composite score overall could be a 400 to 800 score. And as I previously stated, the sections listed that you can expect for the SAT will be a reading section, a writing and language section, and the math section. And the math section is broken up into two parts. There's a part that allows you to use a calculator, and then there's a part that won't allow you to use a calculator. Time. So, this is going to be really critical and key, when you're working through the test. And knowing these things before you start the test is really going to help you, especially with your pacing and your reading and your the amount of time you use, your time management skills. On the reading portions, you're going to be allowed 65 minutes on the reading portion of the test. On the writing and language portion of the test, you're only going to be allowed 35 minutes. So forth on the math portions, the portion where you're allowed to use a calculator, you'll be allowed 55 minutes. And on the portion where there's no calculator allowed, you'll be allowed 25 minutes. If you do pay that additional fee and choose to take the essay portion of the test, you will get 50 minutes for the essay portion of the test. And lastly, this is doing as much research as possible up front so you know what to expect. The number of questions that is going to be in each section. So for that reading section, you're going to have 52 questions. For the writing and language section, you're going to have 44. And on the math section, where they allow you to use a calculator, you'll have 38 questions. And on the portion where you're not allowed to use a calculator, you'll have 20 questions. So, it's really critical that students, do as much research to find out what they're going to be getting themselves into, to help best prepare them for the SAT. Preparing for the SAT, will help you with pacing, especially on those certain portions like the reading portions where it could be a lot of reading and information, which could take time. Students read at different pace, so, doing as much practicing and preparing as possible and doing as much research as possible, will make sure that you have enough time to answer the questions thoroughly and think about the questions and use good time management skills. So lastly, I'm going to talk to you guys about SAT subject tests. So just to start, I think it's important to mention that typically the majority of our students and most students who take the SAT just take the standard SAT exam. But I think it's important to mention that this could differ for each student. So it really, depends on, you as a student and what your goals are and what you're looking to do. Certain colleges and universities and even some scholarship programs expect students to take the subject portion of the test. And they use that as another way to distinguish themselves from applicants. So they use that as a way to determine, find out, the academic strengths and academics of the student. So, I would encourage you guys to review the admission requirements of your university, of your college or university, and also the requirements of the scholarship programs that you're applying to and what you're looking for. And some of those could require you to take a subject test. But just in general, the subject test, the SAT subject tests are designed to measure students' knowledge in a particular subject. So just to name a few of those subjects, they are English, history, language, math, science, just to name a few. They're hour long and they're content-based tests. So the tests are going to be based, on those 5 subjects. Those are the general area tests. And like I said, like I previously stated, it's very important to know what your goals are and what you're planning to do when making a decision on applying for those. If you're looking at a school that is very interested in your science, on your scores when it comes to that, then you would need to take that exam, to submit those scores to that institution. So, that's some of the things you definitely want to check out. You want to communicate with your admissions department at the university, and you want to look at your requirements located on the school website, just to make sure that you have everything you need to apply to the program, that the requirements that they're asking for. Up to 3 subjects can be taken on test day, except in the March date. That's the only time. The fee for it is $26 per registration, and it's going to be an additional $18 per test.
In addition to the SAT, there's also the option to take the ACT. The ACT is designed to measure the skills most important for success in a post-secondary setting. And like the SAT, there are a number of college readiness benchmarks that are representative of the level of achievement required for students to have a 50% chance of obtaining a B or higher and a 75% chance of obtaining a C or higher in a corresponding credit-bearing first-year college course. Looking at the subjects, the ACT tests you on English, math, reading, and science, in addition to subjects that fall under the category of ELA and STEM. And as you can see in the middle, each subject has a corresponding benchmark score, and on the right, the college course associated. So if you look at the ELA line, the first year college course associated includes English composition and the social sciences. And those are subjects like psychology and sociology. In the STEM section, the courses associated are calculus, biology, chemistry, physics, and engineering. Additionally, if attending a community college is a part of your plan, community colleges may also use your scores as placement standards. And so this is especially helpful if that individual community college offers multiple sections of a subject, such as a regular and an advanced English course.
All right, so if you are a junior, it's important that you put this on your calendar now. On February 23rd, Mount Tabor and every junior in Forsyth County schools will be taking the ACT for free. This is an excellent opportunity to get a head start on your college application process, especially since you can send your scores to up to 4 colleges or universities at no additional cost. Now, while we don't have all of the details yet regarding how the ACT would be administered or the pre-administration date that's going to come up in February, we will have more of those updates at the start of the second semester. So I encourage everyone to continue to stay engaged with all of their classes. I also can encourage you to consider taking some practice tests so that you can feel prepared when the ACT does come up. You can email your school counselor and request a physical copy of an ACT practice test and coordinate a time to drive by the school to pick it up. Or you can go to the ACT website and use the ACT Academy Test Prep service. There you can take an online practice test. So juniors, if you recall from your sophomore year, you took the pre-ACT and you had your scores sent to you. You can use those pre-ACT scores to enter into the ACT Academy, and it'll create a personalized practice test for you, so you can review those sections that you might need to continue working on. However, if you're unable to locate that score report, you can email your school counselor and he or she will assist you in getting that information. So there are currently 4 dates set for the ACT happening in spring of 2021. That's February 6th, April 17th, June 12th, and July 17th, with more dates set for the fall coming soon. If you're looking to take the ACT again, you can register at act.org. Your scores will be made available online 2 weeks after the test date, with the multiple choice section being made available first. You can also choose to send your scores to up to 4 schools that you indicate when you register, and you'll have to pay an additional fee for every school after that. Most colleges and universities do prefer that you send your scores through the College Board, so it just makes it easier if you go ahead and select 4 schools when you register. There is a $55 fee to take the ACT and a $70 fee when you take it with the essay portion. Also, there are additional fees that are added on if you change the test date or the test location, if you register late, or if you are on a wait list or standby registration. You can request a fee waiver from your school counselor, so it's important that you talk with your school counselor to discuss those specifics of that. And the same goes for disability services. If you need to receive an accommodation for the ACT, that's a separate process from an IEP or a 504, and only the ACT can determine that. So please discuss getting an accommodation with your school counselor so that you are prepared for the proper documentation that you need when talking that over with the ACT. It's important to know how the ACT is scored. So if you look at the left column, you can see that it lists the 4 core subjects that are tested, the writing portion, and the composite score. So each core section is scored from 1 to 36, with 36 being a perfect score, or a 1 to 12 for the writing portion, with 12 being a perfect score. And for the composite, that is the average of your English, math, reading, and science scores that will be used to determine that number. So thinking back to those benchmark scores, if you score at or above the benchmark for each section, your composite score should be around that competitive range that colleges and universities are looking for. And to kind of get an idea of what types of questions that will be asked on the ACT, the column on the right of your screen highlights some of those skills that you've learned in your classes, such as grammar usage, rhetorical skills, interpretation and analysis, and comprehension skills.
Now that we've given you lots of information about the ACT program, we would also like to tell you about some of the updates to the overall ACT assessment. As we've indicated, our juniors will take the ACT in February of 2021. They will have opportunities to then take another ACT if they would like to earn a stronger score than they earned the first time that they took the ACT in February. So the first component of the ACT that we want to talk about here is section test retesting. In the past, when a student chose to take the ACT a second time or a third time, they had to register for the entire ACT assessment with each section. Students now are able to register only for the section that they wish to retake. Again, they take an English, a reading, a math, and a science portion of the test. If they feel like they want to try to earn a stronger score on one of those sections, they can simply register for one. And they can register for 1, 2, 3, or all 4 and take the entire ACT again. The second bullet on this slide refers to online testing rather than taking the test in a traditional paper pencil format. Now, this does depend on test sites that have decided to employ the online testing format, but when students schedule to take a test, they can look to see in their MyAP account whether or not a test site is offering online testing or the traditional paper pencil test. The third bullet is something that ACT is currently working on, and that is remote proctoring. There is not yet any announcement that this has been developed completely for students to register to be able to take the ACT within their homes, but this is something that the ACT program is working on now. And the last bullet point is ACT Super Scoring. We've become accustomed to colleges and universities using super scores as they determine college admissions, but now the ACT program is making it a part of their process of sending score reports to students and to colleges and universities with the super score calculated within the score report that they submit to students and to colleges and universities. In this slide, we want to share some information, some updates that are available to families as you visit the College Board website with information about the SAT and the ACT website. We know that it's not a simple decision for students, for families to decide that you will register to take one of these assessments during 2021. We know that currently our seniors who will graduate in 2021 are able to apply to most colleges and universities in a test optional format. That means that they can send scores that they have for the ACT or the SAT that they were able to take back prior to April of 2020, or from an SAT or ACT test date that they have been able to access at the start of the school year. The decision that most colleges and universities made, including the UNC system, of the application process being test optional was based on the fact that many students did not have an opportunity to be able to take the SAT or the ACT or have the opportunity to take a second ACT or SAT in order to obtain a score that they were hopeful of obtaining in their college admission process. We do not know currently how that will affect the class of 2022, which is also a reason why we've shared this information about the ACT and the SAT as we move forward. Additional information will probably become available to us from colleges and universities as we get to the end of the school year and into the summer. And by then, I think we all will hope that some elements of the pandemic will have changed to make regular activities like taking the ACT and the SAT a lot more normal. So currently, both the SAT and the ACT program have scheduled Saturday test dates. We want to emphasize at the bottom of this slide what it says. Please visit the ACT and the ACT and the SAT websites to see more specific information, or to continue to see any additional updates that are made at the websites about the Saturday SAT and ACT assessments. We do want you to know that test centers make their decisions, whether that's to hold a particular test date based on the guidance of local health officials. We also want you to know that test center closures are emailed or texted to students who have registered for tests, so they will know in advance that a test center may be closed on a particular day. Health screenings, wellness checks, wearing of masks, and 6 feet apart are important elements of each of the SAT and the ACT test administrations to try to ensure the best safety environment that can be available to our students. So again, we recognize that this is a difficult and challenging decision. We also want to emphasize, though, that we don't have any new information that next year's college admission process will be test optional. We will continue to monitor college and university websites, the UNC system here in North Carolina, and any information that we can gather and share with our students and families about how the college admission process will work for our current juniors. This slide about preparing for the SAT and the ACT is very beneficial for our juniors, our sophomores, and our freshmen. So we've divided on this slide, we've divided the ways that you can prepare for these assessments in school through in-school activities and outside of school through activities that are outside of your regular classrooms. So the first thing we want to point out is that your preparation, your best preparation for the SAT or the ACT is what you do in school. On these assessments, you are asked to read, to write, solve math problems. So reading, writing, problem solving, the more rigorous courses that you take in high school and the more you accomplish in those rigorous courses in high school, that is your best preparation for these college-bound assessments. The Winston-Salem and Forsyth County Schools also offers a test prep course, so that is something that students can look at toward the future to register and take. And also, we again emphasize that taking the PSAT and taking the PreACT, reviewing your score report and using the resources available to you is very important. But simply practicing for the SAT and the ACT by taking the PSAT and the PreACT are really important activities for younger students. Outside the classroom, we really want to emphasize with the SAT making use of Khan Academy, and with the ACT making use of ACT Academy, the online tool that the ACT program makes available, are very, very important. You can link your pre-ACT scores to Khan Academy, and you can also link to Khan Academy without having taken the PSAT. With ACT Academy, you can link your pre-ACT scores and receive a personalized program for preparing for the ACT. So really, no matter what grade you are in, there are opportunities that you can take part in that will help you prepare for the SAT and the ACT. CFNC, College Foundation of North Carolina, has test prep modules. If you are a Crosby Scholar, Crosby Scholars also has ACT and SAT practice resources that are available to students who are scholars. We're considering putting together an ACT prep class for sometime in January or early February. And again, that's one of those things that we did last year and we would like to be able to do for our current juniors. We're kind of in a wait and see mode to see how things go with the return to school as we start second semester. This slide simply gives our students some reminders for being prepared on test day. On test day, make sure that you arrive to your test in plenty of time so that you can find the location where you'll take your test. Come well rested. Make sure that you eat breakfast. You are also invited to bring snacks with you, and there are times during each of the SAT and the ACT that you can snack on something to keep your energy level up. Bring with you your admission ticket. Bring with you a calculator that you can use. All parts of the SAT and the ACT can be completed without a calculator, but your calculator will probably make you feel more comfortable as you take the test. Bring number 2 pencils, bring your acceptable photo ID, and again, bring a snack. And one of the things that we always emphasize to our students, pace yourself through each section of the test, pay attention to the time that you are using in the best way that you can, and ultimately answer all questions. You will only gain points that will give you a more positive score by answering every question, even if you need to guess on a few at the very end of the test. So again, be rested, eat breakfast, come with energy, and just believe that you're going to do the very best that you can do.
Hello, Mount Tabor. This is Coach Muse again. I'm your Career Development Coordinator here at Mount Tabor High School, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the ACT Workkeys Test coming up in the spring. This test is for CTE concentrators, which I will get in touch with you if you are a concentrator in our CTE program. This test helps measure your workplace skills. It tells you whether you're good at hard or soft skills. And if you are successful with this test, you will earn a National Career Readiness Certificate. And this certificate tells the workplace in the state of North Carolina and around the United States that you will be ready for the workforce. So who takes the ACT Workkeys? Great question. All 4th-year students that are eligible for graduation who will be a completer in a CTE pathway upon graduation is required to take this test. If you are one of these people, I will get in contact with you before the spring. This is a 3-hour test. It consists of 3 different tests and that are about 45 minutes to an hour long. You are not graded on this test for any of your classes. This Workkeys test is a great opportunity for you to show the workforce that you are ready to be hired at a business here in North Carolina or throughout the United States. If you are taking the ACT Workkeys test this spring, we have 2 sites in our additional resources link that you can go to in order to practice for this test. This test has 3 different categories: graphic literacy, math, and workplace documents. Please go to the additional links for practice on this test. Thank you.
This slide has to do with the Ncaa Clearinghouse. Looking at playing a sport in college, you have to have or meet certain academic eligibility requirements. Part of that is meeting the 16 core courses, as you can see listed there. Your counselor is going to make sure that you hit these anyways, but it gives you an idea of what you need in order to meet that core GPA of at least a 2.3 for a Division I school. For Division II or Division III, it is a 2.0 GPA, so you need to make sure aware of that and know what school or level the school is that you're looking at going to, as well as the SAT combined score, ACT sum score, matching your core GPA on the sliding scale that they have, which you can click on that link and that will take you to that. But essentially making sure that you're signed up for the clearinghouse by the end of your junior year if you are looking to play a sport in college. You can contact me directly, Mr. McBride. That way I can get you hooked up, as I am the liaison for that, and there is a cost to that, but if you qualify for a fee waiver, let me know. We can figure that out as well. So reach out if you have any questions about that. The Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. They also call this the ASVAB. This is a multiple aptitude battery that does help measure your abilities and help you predict your future academic and occupational success in the military. However, you do not have to be enrolled in the military or even interested in the military in order to take the ASVAB. As it says, it does test your academic and occupational success. Now, it says in the military, it can be in general, so it gives you an idea of what your skills and your perks can be for that. Now, normally we offer that at Mount Tabor multiple times throughout the year. Obviously, with COVID policies, we are struggling to nail down a date, but we are working on that with them. So if we do come up with a date, we'll be sure to let everyone know so we can get you guys signed up. But if you are interested in taking that, you can reach out to the military recruiters at Haynes Mall or reach out to your counselor. We can get you in contact with them.
This is Stan Huck again. So along with being the Director of School Counseling, I am also Mount Tabor's AP Coordinator. So in the next couple of slides, I'd like to share some information about students taking AP courses and then planning and preparing to take the AP exams near the end of the school year. Along with the AP information that I will share, I want to draw some comparisons and some contrasts with students who may choose to take college and career promise courses at Psat Tech, sometimes commonly known as dual enrollment. So first, I want to point out that our school district has the opportunity to offer all of the advanced placement courses that are offered through the College Board. There are a total of 37 AP courses. Most of those are offered at the Career Center, and 12 of those courses are offered at Mount Tabor. Mount Tabor offers these courses and will administer exams in AP Biology, AP Calculus AB, AP English Language and Composition, AP English Literature and Composition, AP Environmental Science, AP Human Geography, AP Latin, AP Psychology, AP Spanish Language and Culture, AP Statistics, AP United States History, and AP World History. So what is significant about students taking AP courses? They are, along with the dual enrollment courses under the Career and College Promise program, they are the most rigorous academic courses that students can take in high school. They lead to the potential for students to earn college credit. They allow students to explore subjects that help them identify what they may want to do in the future, college majors and careers. Most of the courses are aligned with English, math, science, social studies, world language. There's also computer science courses. But those courses are sometimes different than the other regular courses that students take in order to meet their graduation requirements and allow for this exploration that can help students make decisions for the future. Students also can earn college credit. When they take the AP exam, they score a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. A 5 on an AP exam corresponds to a very strong A. A 3 can correspond to a B+ on in a college course grade. So colleges award credit for students who earn 3, 4, or 5 on the exam. Most colleges and universities will award credit. The UNC system has an agreement with the College Board, with the Advanced Placement Program, that any student who earns a 3 or higher on an AP exam will be awarded college credit at one of the UNC system schools. Private colleges make their own decisions, but again, most colleges and universities will honor credit for students who earn a 3 to a 5. Students receive an additional quality point in their weighted grade point average. So that can be significant also because the class rank is based on the weighted grade point average. Of course, it is better to earn a very strong grade in an AP course as you're building that grade point average toward a stronger class rank. It's also important to consider that by taking an AP course and having that AP course identified on a student's transcript, it does stand out on college and scholarship applications. So there are numerous reasons that taking AP courses can be very beneficial. I want to add that taking dual enrollment courses under the Career and College Promise program in the community college system, and our local community college is Psat Tech, can be as worthwhile. And so students do need to make a decision about taking AP courses, which they would take within their home high school or the Career Center, or choosing dual enrollment courses that they would take through the local community college. So one of the reasons that students take AP courses is to prepare for and take the AP exams near the end of the course. So the AP program has an exam schedule that is in May of each year. So in the 2021 school year, AP exams will be administered from May 3rd to May 14th. If you would like to take a look at an AP exam schedule, you can go to apstudents.collegeboard.org/exam calendar. More information will be shared with students as we get closer to the exam period about which particular courses have exams on particular days. The AP exam schedule is set up so that there are exams scheduled for the morning, which begin at 8 a.m., and exams for the afternoon, which begin at 12 o'clock. In our school district, students take their exams where they take the courses. So if a student takes an AP course at the Career Center, he or she will take that exam at the Career Center. If a course is taken at Mount Tabor, the AP exam will be taken at Mount Tabor. So the AP coordinators at each high school work together to facilitate the process for our students to have a good testing experience at both locations. AP exams are generally in two parts. Section 1 of the exam is a multiple choice exam, and Section 2 is a free response section. And in the free response section, students generate answers to question prompts. Some of the exams have portfolio submissions. Exams like Studio Art for the AP art courses that our students take, AP Computer Science Principles, and AP Seminar are courses that students will prepare and submit a portfolio. AP Seminar is offered in our school district for the first time this year. Students who will still be in high school next year have the opportunity to take the AP Research course, and then if they score 3s or higher on each of those exams, plus 3s or higher on 4 additional AP exams, they can receive the AP diploma. So that is an additional credential that students can use as they are submitting to college and increase their opportunities. AP exams have always had a cost. The cost this year is $96. I'm sorry, the cost this year is $95. However, our students in North Carolina public schools do not pay that fee because the fee is covered by the North Carolina Advanced Placement Partnership. That has been that way since 2014 when our General Assembly passed that law. So AP exams will be the first 2 full weeks in May, and our students are working right now to prepare for those exams. So what are the best ways to prepare for those exams and potentially earn college credit? The most important way to prepare is to take the rigorous course and to take it very seriously, to attend class regularly, to complete all assignments, and to study as the teacher guides students to study. So direct communication, attendance with each class is the primary method for preparing to get a good, strong grade on an AP exam. Students have registered for their AP exams and their AP courses through their MyAP accounts. That link at the AP website holds more information and more resources that students can use to prepare for their exams. There is a program called AP Classroom that teachers use that enrich the assignments that students are doing in their regular classes, and their AP daily videos. Those can all be accessed to help students have better preparation to receive good, strong scores and then hopefully receive college credit for the work they've done in high school. So practicing multiple choice questions, practicing free response questions, those are all a part of taking an AP exam and following the guidance of your teacher. At this point, I would like to draw a bit of a distinction between students taking AP exams, AP courses, and then AP exams and earning college credit, and students who take advantage of the Career and College Promise program at the community college. So students who are eligible to take those courses can take a course for a semester and take a course just like any other college student takes a course, do the work for the course, take an exam for the course, and earn a final grade. When students earn C grades or higher, those courses can lead to earning an associate degree at the community college, and they can also lead to transfer to one of the UNC system schools. Some of those courses will also transfer to other private schools or schools outside of North Carolina, but within North Carolina, there is an agreement between the community college system and the UNC system for students to receive credit for those courses that they have taken through the dual enrollment program. So a major distinction is that with an AP course, you take it within your high school or career center or Mount Tabor in our school district, and then you take an exam, and the exam determines credit. With Career and College Promise or dual enrollment, the final grade in the course determines the credit that students will receive. So we encourage our current students who are taking AP exams to do everything in their power to work hard in classes and prepare for exams. And for our younger students, we encourage you to be thinking about how to take advantage of these programs in high school, the AP courses, or the College and Career Promise program as you are building your journey through high school toward your college plans or whatever it is you would like to do after high school.
So this slide talks mostly to juniors, but it is good for other underclassmen to be aware of as well. This is the College and Career Readiness Graduates Initiative that was put in place last year. It requires juniors that do not meet the GPA requirement above a 2.79 or within the range of 2.2 to 2.79 and do not meet the ACT benchmarks of an 18 in English, 22 in math, or a 22 in reading to take mandatory courses in order to help you meet those readiness indicators to be ready, obviously, for college and career and graduate that way. This is passed by the North Carolina General Assembly and North Carolina Community College Systems and the NC State Board. So this is something that we put in place. It could affect your classes for senior year, so please be aware of that and make sure that if you fall within that GPA range, you meet those benchmarks. So just another reason to make sure that you do well and you take the ACT seriously this year.
Hi Spartans, I'm Miss Daniel, school counselor for students with last name A through E. In this next section here, we're going to talk to you a little bit about planning for your future. Now, for the majority of students, that does mean planning for some type of college, be it 2-year trade school or 4-year college, university. It's continuing those educational goals towards your career pursuits. So to do that, it doesn't matter if you are a 9th grader or 12th grader, we want you to have these things in mind. For one, take rigorous courses and earn good grades. That means pushing yourself. That means sometimes you take courses that are harder than the courses you took the year before, and you have to study in different ways and new ways and get more help, but you can still rise to that challenge and show colleges what you're capable of. You want to make sure you register for and take the SAT or the ACT, and for some folks both. To prepare for that, you really do need to sign up for the PSAT, and I do know that that's been talked about already in this presentation, so I won't go into too much detail, but you want to make sure you're prepared for those tests. You want to be involved in school and community activities. That starts at the beginning of high school. In 11th grade, the beginning of 12th grade is not too late to join. That doesn't mean that you have to join 20, 30 different clubs or sports or honor societies. Become involved in the things that you are passionate about and you enjoy, and stay with those so that you can seek opportunities to be a leader. So a club you might be in 9th grade or 10th grade, you might grow into being a leader your 11th or 12th grade year, and that looks really good for colleges. You want to participate in enrichment opportunities. Those can be local, they can be state, nationwide. Many universities host enrichment opportunities, so really just go out there and explore what those options are. And you really want to look in and research colleges and universities. It's not too early, even as a 9th grader, to go and visit a college if you're able to, even virtually, to attend an online event they have, to get to know one of their admissions counselors. You're building that relationship and gaining knowledge to where you might want to go for your future. It's not too early to start. Now, with admission to college, there are many criteria that they look into to decide who they're going to admit to their college or university. That includes all these things on this page here. You can see your grades and your GPA, your course rigor, and that does include senior year too. Your class rank, and your class rank is something that you get a new class rank every semester of high school. Your activities, your service, your leadership, your accomplishments, and that doesn't have to be just inside school. That can be your community-based events as well. Your recommendations, so that is building up the relationships you have with your counselor, with your teachers. So when it comes time your senior year that you need those recommendations, we can write great letters for you. Your essays and personal statements that you will write, you want to make sure that you take the time to write very personal statements with those, so those admissions counselors get to know you. Your test scores like the SAT and ACT, and then interviews. Some colleges do require interviews. Wake is just down the road, and that's a great example of a school that does request an interview. So in your research of colleges and universities, you just want to see if an interview is something that you need to plan for. The UNC system has set minimum admissions requirements for four-year public colleges or universities in North Carolina. It's important to note that if you meet these requirements, it does not guarantee an admission to college. It means that you have met the minimum admission requirements for colleges to consider you for admissions. You always want to check on colleges' websites to see what their averages are when you're compiling your list of colleges you want to apply to. Now, it is important for you to note that there have been some changes due to COVID. At this point in time, those changes do not impact current 9th, 10th, or 11th graders. So what we have on this screen is what is set for current 9th, 10th, or 11th graders. If you are a senior watching this presentation, then please realize that these minimum admission requirements are different for you. At this point in time, the state has created that waiver for current seniors or students who are being admitted and entering into college in the fall of 2021, but no one after that. If that changes, we will update you, but at this point in time, if you are a 9th, 10th, or 11th grader, these are the set minimum admission requirements to be considered for a North Carolina public four-year college or university. There are many ways that colleges use your SAT and ACT scores. Probably the most obvious is for admissions. The SAT and ACT score is very important for many colleges in determining who they're admitting to their university. There are also many scholarships that do ask for your SAT or ACT scores, and there are some scholarships based solely around things like your PSAT score. Your SAT and ACT scores can also be used for course and program placement. Certain programs you do have to test into with a certain SAT or ACT score. In certain classes, you have to have certain scores to be able to advance quicker into the higher level of the course. Otherwise, you might have to take a lower level or remedial course to prepare you for those courses they need you within that major. The community college admission requirements do slightly differ from the four-year college and university requirements, and we do have them listed here. You have to graduate from high school and have a completed high school transcript that we can send to a community college. You need your SAT or ACT or your GPA. There are certain programs that you have to have a certain SAT or ACT score, a certain GPA to be admitted into. Students with a GPA above a 2.8 will be eligible to bypass foundational English and math courses, so it is important that you stay in rigorous courses pushing yourself at your highest level. And also we want to point out to make sure that you realize that there are specialty areas that have additional requirements, and so you need to do your research within your community colleges to see what requirements they have for the major and the degree you wish to earn. On this slide, we just wanted to point out some things for you to think about, and we do have links to a lot of these things on our additional resources page. For one, researching colleges. That's not something that has to start your senior or your junior year. You can start doing that now, no matter where you're at Mount Tabor, 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. Residency determination, that is something you want to wait and do towards the end of your junior year or the summer in between junior and senior year, really. And that's what you complete to make you eligible for in-state tuition in North Carolina. The application process, again, this is something you really can't start until after August 1st of your senior year, but you can be prepared for that. And for juniors, what that means is the spring of your senior year, you can go ahead and start working on some essays if you're going to use the Common App. And that's just researching colleges and finding out how you're going to apply, and then doing all the work that you can before your senior year starts, and then paying for college. Now, part of that is scholarships, and that's stuff that you can be looking into now. And we do list here the College Board Opportunity Scholarships. Those are some that you can be working on as a junior. And that's really great for you guys. College Board has these scholarships that kind of start your junior year, and they're pieces of them. And so you do a little piece at a time, and it's all stuff you're going to be doing anyway. So for example, one of my seniors got a scholarship from College Board over the summer simply for putting together a list of her colleges she was researching on College Board. For just that, she got a scholarship. And there are other ones out there too. So I really heavily suggest for you to look into the College Board Opportunity Scholarships to plan for your future.
Hi Spartans, you've reached the end of the presentation. I know it's a lot, so take some time, think about what you've heard and read here. Go back and rewatch it, rewatch all of it, rewatch parts of it, rewatch what you need, and then actually sit with it. And if you have questions, feel free to email us. We are here to help and support you. Now, while you're thinking about this information, I do want to point out some additional resources that are here for you. On any page that listed additional resources where we talked about maybe links or websites, we have created a document for you that has all of those. And those are on the Mount Tabor Student Services website under Tabor Forum Series. You'll find that page there. Also, we have a little mini presentation there that if you took your PSAT in a past year and you've forgotten how to understand your PSAT score report, we have made a mini presentation available, and it's going to be located in the same place as the additional resources page. And if you're an overachiever and you want to plan ahead for your senior year in college planning, we would suggest you take a look at the presentation we created for our current seniors, which is on that same page as for Tabor Forum Series on the Mount Tabor Student Services page. Last but not least, I would like to leave you with a reminder to please sign up for the PSAT if you haven't. The information is available on our website, and you have until December 4th to sign up for that test. So Tabor Spartans, we miss you, and we hope that this presentation was worthwhile for you to gain some information, and please don't hesitate to reach out to us if we can help in any way.